In the early 1200s, in Lisbon, a boy named Fernando was born into a noble but ordinary household. When he grew older, he joined the Augustinian canons, spending long hours reading scripture and learning the teachings of the Church. Everything changed for him when the bodies of 5 Franciscan missionaries were brought through his monastery. They had been killed while preaching in Morocco. Fernando was deeply moved by their courage. He asked permission to leave the Augustinians and join the Franciscans, taking a new name, Anthony. Anthony hoped to go to Morocco himself to continue the work of the missionaries. But when he arrived, he became very ill. He tried to return home, but a storm blew his ship off course and he ended up in Italy instead. The Franciscans there didn't know his abilities and assigned him simple and hidden tasks: kitchen work, cleaning, and humble service. Anthony accepted all this quietly, without complaint. One day, at a gathering of friars and Dominicans, a preacher did not show up. The superior asked Anthony to give a short talk. Everyone expected something simple, but when Anthony began speaking, they were astonished. His words were clear, powerful, and full of wisdom. His deep knowledge of Scripture amazed even the most educated priests. From that moment, Anthony was sent out to teach. He preached in towns and villages, drawing crowds of thousands. People said it was not only his words, but the gentleness and peace he carried that moved their hearts. He defended the poor, encouraged justice, and corrected errors with kindness. Many people returned to God because of his preaching. Stories spread about the miracles God worked through him: lost items found, people healed, troubled hearts comforted. Saint Anthony's life is filled with miraculous accounts that defined his legacy as a wonder worker. The patron of lost things, Anthony once had a precious handwritten psalter, prayer book, that was stolen by a young novice. After Anthony prayed for its return, the thief was reportedly terrified by a vision and returned the book, eventually rejoining the order. This incident is why he is invoked to find lost items. Preaching to the fish. In Rimini, when local heretics refused to listen to his sermons, Anthony went to the shoreline and began preaching to the sea. Thousands of fish reportedly rose to the surface, holding their heads out of the water to listen, which moved the townspeople to conversion. The vision of the child Jesus. Artists frequently depict Anthony holding the infant Jesus. This stems from a story where a host witnessed a brilliant light emanating from Anthony's room and peered inside to see the saint cradling the Christ child in his arms. The miracle of the mule. To prove the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist, Anthony challenged a skeptic to starve his mule for 3 days. When presented with both fodder and the blessed sacrament, the starving animal ignored the food and knelt before the Eucharist. Anthony's life was short. He died at only 35 years old, but his impact was immense. Just 1 year after his death, the Church declared him a saint. He is remembered today as the patron of lost things, because of his ability to help people find not only lost objects, but also lost peace, lost faith, and lost direction. He was canonized less than a year after his death, one of the fastest in history. In 1263, when his body was exhumed for transfer to a new basilica, his tongue was found to be perfectly incorrupt, a sign many attributed to his gift for holy preaching. Today, he remains a doctor of the Church and a beloved protector of the poor.